I'll just give you an example of this. Suppose if you have mod of -3 which is less than 5. Okay, so this is less than 5 because we know that agar ye mod hat jayega so it is 3 or else it is -3, so that is anyway is going to be less than 5, correct? And this is the explanation for the first one. I think I'll just explain to you the first statement and the remaining ones are like very similar, so you can easily guess the this thing. A ke jagah pe now we have 5 and x ke jagah pe we have mod x ke jagah pe -3. Okay, so this one will be minus a, correct? Minus a is -5 less than 3, which is less than 5, correct? So this is how it is going to work. A ke jagah pe. So this will be true only if and only this thing holds. Or else you can make it ulta also. इसके वजह से ये वाला. That is what I told you a few minutes back. If and only if means this is true. Hence, you can apply this for granted. Or else if this is given, then you can make this and so that it is true. Okay. So let us deal with a few examples. For example, if they tell you that um, about finding solution set, this is not the rule, okay? The rule and results are over. Suppose they tell you solution set. Anyways, we'll find out the solution set of the few questions given here. So you have to find out solution set of the following equation, of the following inequalities. Uh, and you have to represent those in the number line also. Okay, find solution set of the following inequalities and represent in the number line when x is a natural number, second x is a whole number, third x is a real number. Okay, so this is the question they are giving you. This is the inequality they have given you. 3x minus 5 is less than x plus 7. So this is the linear inequality they have given you, and they're telling you to find out solution set of the inequality and also represent them on a number line when you have these criteria, when x is a natural number, whole number, or it's a real number. Okay, so this is the equation that we have. 3x minus 5 is less than x plus 7. So we can what we can do is we can take the, as I said, the x, the variables on one side and then this thing on the other side. So we have, what are we doing by the way? So when I tell you that we're taking one thing or the other side, it is not like हम मैंने इसको push कर रहे हैं ना, मैंने x को इधर से erase करके यहाँ पे लिख दिया, ऐसे नहीं होता है. What did I do? Or when I want to take this 5 over here, do you think it happens like this? मैंने 5 को इधर से erase करके मैंने 5 को इधर sign change करके लिख दिया. That is not happens. That to we write it for our comfort. But what happens in reality is when you have something like this 3x minus 5, and I don't want this minus 5 over here, what am I doing? I'm putting the numbers on this side, right? I'm pushing all the numbers on this side and I want all the variables on this side. So what I'm doing, as I said, I'm not erasing this 5 and then I'm putting it over there. What am I doing? ये जो -5 है ये मुझे यहाँ नहीं चाहिए, ये मुझे यहाँ चाहिए. मतलब मुझे यहाँ से हटाना है और मुझे यहाँ डालना है. So ये जो -5 है, अगर मुझे यहाँ से, if I want to remove it from here, what is the value that can vanish this -5 from here? So it is -5. Only if I make this 0, matlab it will vanish from here, right? So -5 hai. To make this disappear, I have to add +5 so that this value goes away, correct? Are you understanding? So this is -5, and when I add +5, so when I'm adding something to one side, I have to always do the same thing to the other side. Otherwise, it is wrong, correct? That's the rule of math. Whenever we add, we sometimes do dividing throughout by x. मतलब that time you always divide the left hand side को divide by x किया है, so you always divide the right hand side with x also. We sometimes do multiplying throughout by 3. Okay, so whenever you multiply the left hand side with 3, you always multiply the right hand side also with 3. So when you're adding 5 to this side, you also have to add that 5 over here. Are you understanding? So what will happen when I'm adding 5 to this side? So this is plus 7 and then plus 5. What have I done over here? I just write the reason because that's a property in case of inequality. So I'm adding 5 to both sides. Correct? So what am I doing? I'm adding 5 to both sides. Now this 5 disappears because minus 5 plus 5 is 0. Otherwise, we always have a habit of writing it jaldi jaldi. Either se 5 nikalo or either dal do and the sign changes. But this is what happens in reality actually. So you have to know this. So this has happened by adding 5 on both the sides. Now is this the end? No, no. We wanted all the numbers on one side and we also wanted all the variables on the other side. So we'll now deal with the variables. So we want this x over here. What am I doing? Are we going to erase this and put it over here? No. We have a x over here. We don't want it over here. We want the x over here. So what am I going? I'm going to delete this x over here. How will I delete this x over here? This is already plus x. है ना? यहाँ पे sign कुछ नहीं है, मतलब this is plus x. So to delete this, what should I do? I should subtract x from here, correct? So I will subtract x from here. So what will I do? 3x. Since I am subtracting x from here, I will also subtract x from here, less than x minus x plus 12. So what did I do? I am subtracting x from both sides. Please remember, whenever you're adding something, we always write add 5 to both sides, add 10 to both the equations, right? But subtract करते हो, you don't write subtract x to both sides, always use the word from. Okay? मतलब हम subtract इसमें से कर रहे हैं, हम add इसको add कर रहे हैं. So that is what it means even when you say it in Hindi, the wordings change, right? So adding something to something and subtracting something from that side. Okay? So this will be 3x minus x is nothing but 2x less than, now this x minus x is equal to nothing. So this has become 12. Okay. Now it is 2x less than 12. अगर by any chance ये 2x equal to 12 भी होता था तो हम क्या करते थे? We have that 2 वाला thing, no? So this is 2 and this is the multiple of 2. So we can always divide by 2 on both the sides. So now we're dividing by 2 on both sides. What do we have? This will be x and this will be less than 6. So we're dividing 2 out by, यहाँ से भी divide किया, यहाँ से भी divide किया. So we have 2 cancel and this is 2 1 2 6. So that is x is less than 6. Okay. So now this is what the value of this thing we wanted. You remember few minutes back we did that equation. X minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. And what did we do? We pushed like this and then we said all their values, infinitely many values, 2 3 2.1 2.3 3 and all the values, infinitely many values are the solution set of this equation. Now they're telling you x is less than 6. So a less than 6 मतलब हमारे पास तो कितनी सारे values है less than 6. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and not just that, we also have 0, we have all the negative numbers also which are less than 6. So what did they tell you to be more precise in the question? They said solution set of the inequalities, and this is the solution set of the inequality which we have found out, and represent them on a number line. Okay, represent them on a number line when x is a natural number, x is a whole number, x is a real number. What do you mean by natural numbers? Now, natural number, you have to understand, natural numbers are all numbers. Just a second. Natural numbers are all numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. All these numbers are natural numbers. Okay. And then whole numbers. What do you have? Whole numbers. Whole mean you just have 0 to this. Add just 0 to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. They are all whole numbers. And when it comes to real, I just told you sometimes back, all negatives, 0, positive, decimal, fraction, rational, everything comes in the real number. Okay. Now you have to find a solution set of this equation that we've already done. And now you have to represent this in the on a number line in 3 cases. X is natural, x is whole, and x is a real number. Okay. So let us represent this in the form of number line. So पहला तो x is a natural number, right? All right, when x is a natural number, what do we have? And then x has to be less than 6. So this is the number line that we have. So for time being, let me just make a few numbers. We're not adding more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So here we have negative numbers. -1, -2, -3, -4, so on and so forth. What did they tell you? X is less than 6. Less than 6 may we have so many even before this. But they're telling you x is to be a natural number. And as I said, natural number only starts from 1, right? So we will just make this dot. Okay. Dot. These are the essential points. So these are the points or the answers or the solution set is always denoted using this thing. Okay. This is the solution set. So what is the solution set now? Solution set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this dots, dots, dots. So all these dots are nothing but solution set only. Okay. So the next one, when x is a whole number. Whole number mein what did I tell you? Just starts from 0 and all the natural numbers. So now when you make that same number line, I have 0 over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we have -1, -2, -3, -4. Now, I said whole numbers means including 0 and all those numbers, right? So this is the original and it's less than 5, less than 6, correct? So this much is your original answer. Here you had this much and here we have this is the required answer. So what is the solution set in case when x is a whole number? Solution set is nothing but now we have just 0 added to this list. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now the third one. Third one when x is a real number. I suppose this much is clear. Now the third one when x is a real number. What did they tell you? X is a real number and it is less than 6. Itna hi they are telling you all the numbers that are less than 6 but it has to be a real number. So when you deal with such things on a number line, for example, if you have something like this, uh, this is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and these are like minus 2, 3, 4. All right. Now they're telling you x is less than 6 and it is a one set of all real numbers. As I said, reals are everything positive, negative, zeros. So just that they're telling you that is less than 6, correct? So less than 6 means abhi the limit is only 6. But do you think can you manually represent that area like how you did it in the previous sum? Say 1 to 5 ही था यहाँ पे 0 to 5 था यहाँ पे 1 to 5 ही था. So we could easily manually represent using these dots and then put a mark on that. That is how you represent it. But here you can't do it manually. See इधर से -4 तक मैंने लिखा है. But अगर -4 है 5 है that is also an answer because -5 is also a real number which is less than 6. -6 is also an answer which is less than 6. -7 is also an answer which is less than 6 and it's a real number. -8, -9. So many numbers and negatives. Oh my god, there is no such limit, right? So it is starting from this 6 and all the numbers, all, everything. So you will, this is how you denote it. Instead of the previous sum where you made those dots like this, and when you joined it, Abhi, यहाँ पे what you'll do is you'll make a mark over here, a circle over here, and then mark all the points. It is even going beyond this -6, -7 वो सब भी है. So उसको denote करने के लिए you're just shading this part, alright? The entire number line from 6 onwards and then उसके आगे तक. And how will you write the solution set now? The solution set, this I think we did it in the last lecture or when I don't remember. What is the solution to the set of all x such that x is a real number, okay? In the set roster form and x is less than 6, okay? So what all numbers are there? Yeah, 6 is the limit, correct? Okay, so less than 6, okay? Less than 6 matlab 6 is the limit and then यहाँ पे सारे numbers -6, -10, -10, -100, -200, -1000. So you have all numbers here till infinity. So when infinity on this side is called as minus infinity, okay? Because these are all negative numbers. So this is the range that you have. or this is the solution set that you have. Okay, for time being you can remember this much. But one more addition thing that I wanted to tell you is there are, this is by the way the solution set of this equation, required equation. One extra thing in terms of the design of the bracket I wanted to tell you. If you write something like this minus infinity comma 6, और मैंने राउंड ब्रैकेट की जगह पे यहाँ पे सपोज मैंने ऐसे स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट या क्लोज ब्रैकेट रखा होता, so then this means that 6 is also included. Okay, but here in our question 6 is not included, correct? Because they said 6 is x is less than 6, correct? When they're telling you that x is less than 6, matlab 6 is not included. If they would have said, if we would have got this answer, matlab only 6 is included. Otherwise, according to our solution set now, 6 is not included, correct? It's only x is less than 6. So hence this bracket. If they tell you 6 is included, matlab it will be a square bracket. ठीक है? अगर से x is less than or equal to 6 होता, तब तुम ये लिख देते ऐसे, which means 6 is included. And when you write something like this, open bracket, which means 6 is not included. That is why we have written this circle over here. 6 से सब कम. अगर मैंने सिर्फ 5 पे ये dot छोड़ दिया होता, which means 5.2 is not an answer, which is wrong because 5.2 is still a real number and it is less than 6. So वो नहीं चलेगा. Hence, I've written a circle over here, and all those shaded region below this thing will be a solution set to this answer. It is not tough at all, but you have to do it, much frequently. So if they tell you what is the solution set is what? It is many, correct? So infinite and unbounded set. Unbounded matlab, bounded matlab where it has got a limit. But this is unbounded, no? Minus 5, minus 6, minus 10, minus 12. Oh God, minus 100, minus 1000. There's no limit. You can have many such real numbers that are less than 6. So hence, it is infinite, matlab बहुत ज़्यादा, and unbounded. Unbounded spelling is unbounded. Unbounded, which means it has got so many numbers. There is no limit to that. Okay. Um, let us do a similar sum on a similar basis, uh, but this time it's like a fraction. Hopefully this will be understood, but you have to remember that how you have to represent the equations. अगर तुमको वो numbers directly दिखते हैं, just put those dots, the bigger dots, and then join the points. And then if you have something infinitely many like this, and if that point is not included, then you will put a circle to that point, and उसके आगे वाले सारे ऐसे mark करना है, because it is not possible to put a dot on all the points, right? Hence, this is the way of doing it. Coming to the next one, suppose you have a question. Solve x minus 3 upon x plus 3, which is greater than 2, and represent the solutions on a number line. Represent the solutions on a number line. So this is what we have. We have to find the solutions and then we have to represent them on a number line like how we did it in the previous question. Okay. So this is that second equation we have. I'll write it again. Okay. So here, what did I tell you? We've been bringing all the terms on one side, correct? This is not like variable separable. Separate nahi ho raha hai, variable and then the numbers. So then what we'll do is we'll try to bring this 2 over here. But as I said, I'm not bringing this 2 from here, यहाँ पे लिखे -2. What are we doing? We're taking this 2. यहाँ जो है उसको हमको we're vanishing that 2, correct? We're making this 2 go disappear. So this is plus 2, and only when I subtract 2 from here it will disappear. So since I'm subtracting a 2 from here, I also have to subtract the 2 from the left hand side, and then the equation is kind of balanced. So now I'll subtracting 2 from, because you're subtracting, so you have to use the word from both sides. Then x minus 3 upon x plus 3. Here you have, which is minus 2. This is greater than 0. Okay. So this much you have got. But now we can, I think, find the cross multiply and then simplify. So now it's like normal simplification. This is 3, correct? Yes, this is 3. Okay. X minus 3 minus 2 times x plus 3. So I'm just cross multiplying. This is x plus 3 and this is greater than 0. How did I get this? By simplification. Okay. So I got this by simplification. Just like normal simplification हम जैसे करते हैं वैसे ही. So now I'll open the brackets. X minus 3 minus 2x. 2 into x is 2x. Minus 2 into plus 3 is minus 6 upon x plus 3, which is greater than 0. Now what do we have? We have x minus 2x. With dealing with similar like terms, x and minus x minus x. Minus 3 minus 6 is minus 9 upon x plus 3, which is greater than 0. Okay. So we have two terms involving minus sign, correct? We have two terms involving minus signs, which is like we can always take that minus sign common. So we have x plus 9 upon x plus 3, which is greater than 0. Okay. So now there is something that we all have to understand. So that's nothing but agar um, you have any number like this is again a property of inequality. I hope you will understand this way better. See, 3 is always greater than 2. Correct? 3 is always greater than 2. This is just an example I'm giving you for the property that I'm going to use right now over here after this line. 3 is always greater than 2. But if I multiply minus 1 on both sides, if I multiply minus 1 on both sides, how will that look like? Minus 1 into 3, and then here it is minus 1 into 2. But what is the answer over here? It is minus 3 and here it is minus 2. What do you think about the sign now? Is it still going to remain like this? Matlab, more wider. It will open its mouth towards 3 and show its tail to 2, or will it be ulta? Now it will be ulta, correct? Because negative numbers mein to minus 2 is actually greater than minus 3. So are you understanding? So whenever you multiply by this negative number, that time the sign of that inequality will always change. They say 3 was greater than 2, but minus 3 is not greater than minus 2. Why? Because we have multiplied by minus 1. No? So when you negative number se jab tum multiply karte ho, then inequality changes. Okay. So here again, because this looks very odd, the equation starts with the minus sign. So what am I going to do is I'll multiply this with minus 1 because I want to make this positive. See, it starts with, we always have something like this, minus x plus, one second. See, when we always have something like this, minus 2x minus 3y, which is equal to 4, we would always want to make this positive. So we can write this as 2x plus 3y plus 4, something like this, correct? So I don't want this minus sign over here. I want to make it positive. So I can only make this positive by multiplying by minus 1. Correct? So when I'm multiplying by minus 1, I'm multiplying by a negative number. And I just showed you how the sign changes when I multiply this thing by negative number, correct? So it becomes x plus 9 divided by x plus 3. Now the sign, जो ये open है this तरफ and it's showing its tail to 0 will now become ulta. It will open its mouth towards 0 and show its tail towards this number. Okay. So now we have this thing is lesser than 0. Okay. You have something upon something is lesser than 0. Let me just give you a quick recap of what we did few minutes back. A by B, it is lesser than 0. If you have, then either you have A is, what was the actual statement? Then you will have both A and B will have opposite signs. That is what the statement means. Right? That we just did it few minutes back. That was an important result. I don't know if you all remember. If you have something like A by B, yes, if it is lesser than 0, okay, then A and B will have opposite signs. So yes, this we have something upon something ke form mein, no? We have something upon something which is lesser than 0. So either they both will have opposite signs, correct? So दोनों का sign opposite रहेगा, मतलब एक plus रहेगा और एक negative रहेगा. But we don't know what is plus and what is negative. So we'll take both the cases. Either the ऊपर वाला is positive and denominator is negative, or ऊपर वाला is negative and denominator is positive. So these are the two cases, correct? Because we need to have कि ये दोनों उल्टा साइन होना चाहिए, या तो ये प्लस हो सकता है या तो ये माइनस हो सकता है. अगर ये प्लस है तो ये वाला माइनस होना चाहिए, या अगर ये माइनस है तो ये वाला प्लस होना चाहिए. So that is what I have written. Now we are going to deal with all the equations one by one. So we will have either x plus 9 is greater than 0 and x plus 3 is less than 0. So I'm just rewriting it again. So when you have something like this, when x plus 9 is greater than 0, we can always have x is greater than minus and taking it that side. What am I doing? I'm not taking it actually to that side, but I am subtracting 9, right, from this thing. So this would be x is greater than minus 9 and x will be less than 3 that side, so it's minus 3. Okay, so x is greater than minus 9 and x is less than minus 3. That is one equation. और क्या था, ये दोनों था. और x will be less than 9 going that side, it will be minus 9, and x will be greater than 3 going that side, so it will be minus 3. So we have so many criteria. We got all these criteria. या तो ये possible है और या फिर ये possible है. Now we're going to deal with ये दोनों cases one time. Suppose अगर ये वाला condition है, that is, this is the first case. For example, x is greater than minus 9 and x is less than minus 3. मतलब x जो है वो -9 से बड़ा है. -9 मतलब -9 से बड़ा है, मतलब it can be -8, -7, -6, -5, so on and so forth. और x -3 से छोटा है. -3 से छोटा मतलब it can be, so if you're getting confused like this, no, you can always draw a number line and you can see. See, these are all negative numbers. तो मैं 0 के इस तरफ का ही number line I'm drawing, okay? Because we're not interested in the positive sides now. All the values are negative, correct? So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9. Okay, okay, let us do -11. Okay, so they're telling you x is greater than -9. Greater than -9 मतलब this side, correct? Greater than -9 is this side. Negative में -8 बड़ा होता है -9 से. I hope everyone is clear with that. And x is less than -3. x is less than -3 मतलब इसके आगे. So that is possible. मतलब ये वाला range में. Okay. So then this is okay. We can take that. Now the second case. X is less than -9. What is x is lesser than -9? See, this is -9 and they're telling you x is less than -9 means ये वाले numbers इसके आगे. And x should be also greater than -3. Greater than -3 matlab these numbers. So can you imagine, they're telling you a number which is present in this side and this side, but there is no number which is common to both these regions, right? Are you understanding? So it's always easy when you kind of put it up in a proper diagrammatic form and then you try and understand. So this case is not possible in reality. So this is impossible. Okay, that is, I just showed you why. So we can only take the upper wala case, this tick mark wala. So x is greater than -9 and x is less than -3. So ये कितना area है? ये वाला area है, right? It's greater than less than -3 and it's greater than -9. So what is that area? That area can always be written like this: -9 less than x less than -3. Correct? This area can always be written like that. X is somewhere in between that area. So abhi x belongs to this criteria, correct? X is belonging to this this part of the number line. So this solution, what do you think? Is it bounded or is it unbounded? What did I tell you? Unbounded means there is no limit, correct? But यहाँ पे तो limit है ना? ये 3 -3 से यहाँ नहीं जा रहा है और -9 से यहाँ नहीं जा रहा है. So it's bounded. मतलब it has got its limit. So this solution set is bounded. Okay. Now since this solution set is bounded, we have to always, as I said, we have to represent this in the number line also. So how are we representing it in the number line? We can just put that, suppose I write all the positive numbers. Anyways, we just concerned about the negative over here. -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Suppose you have something like this, and then 9 or 3. Is 9 and 3 included? It is not included. That is why I've written this round bracket. If it would have been included, agar hota to we would have used this bracket, right? So it would have been something like this, -9 comma -3 with square brackets. But this time it is not included, hence the round brackets. And as I said in the previous sum, we will use these circles since these two are not included, and all the values which are included is these values. Okay. So then you can use this one because these two values are not included, and the points can be dotted as I said in the first one. Whatever you can mark it with the dark circles, like this. तो यहाँ पे भी मैंने mark किया. Should I use another color? Hmm. These values, these values, these values, these values are all included, and this is circle because 3 -3 or -9 are not included. Okay, it's less than or greater than, correct? So this solution set is bounded. So what did we do in this class? We started with linear inequalities. We saw what is linear inequalities, few tiny examples, और ऐसे वाले इक्वेशंस का नाम क्या है, और ऐसे अगर होते हैं तो उनका नाम क्या है. These are what? Strict inequalities. These are slack inequalities. And then we saw few results, how to solve them. We saw how to, what do you mean by solution and solution set, how do you represent the solution set on a number line, and we solved a few problems with the help of a few results. The next class also will continue with this only. I think we'll stop now.